shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Let's bring you in a little bit here. So we are here in studio with another Tortora. It's always fun for me to be able to do this. It's not just me. So we have Fran with us today. Fran is my cousin. Fran plays for CNS. We didn't have a season this season, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we have an opportunity. It's been a little bit since you've been in studio.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, you know, we were supposed to do this, and we were going to do it when the season started. We were going to do it around March.
Yep.
And then Rona hit.
Yep.
And then we were all trapped in our houses.
That was horrible.
And so now we are out, and we're obviously practicing proper social distancing. But as you know, in an Italian family, if we were to wear a mask right now, our parents would slap us in the face and say, knock it off. So Fran is here in studio with us, and I'm happy to have my cousin Fran here with me on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So how are we doing, Fran?
Doing good.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Wearing some Penn State?
Yeah.
I saw that. Can we talk about, didn't you get, there was a letter that came in?
Yeah, I got a letter in the mail, but it's just a questionnaire, but it's a good sign.
So
that's all I can really.
So what's the, and what's it, I mean, when you're going through kind of this recruitment and whatnot so far, you've been to different camps, you've been to different places. What's that been like?
It's really weird now, especially with Corona. The normal thing right now would be that college coaches would be able to start talking to me September 1st of my junior year. So like this summer in school season would have been, in fall, would have been like the biggest kind of for my recruiting class. But with Corona, everything is kind of, nobody really knows.
Yeah.
So everything's just pushed back for now. So my recruiting class is kind of on hold for right now.
Yeah, because you don't really know what's going to happen, and you know, schools.
Yeah, so we're waiting for that.
Right, and you didn't have a season.
Right.
And you and I were talking about the season was supposed to start May 1st.
Yep.
And you were getting ready for it, getting prepared for it. You had the team working on different training exercises. You're trying to keep in touch with each other. You are one of the casualties of this coronavirus is no spring sports. So
Right.
How did you handle that?
God, it was horrible.
Yeah.
There was no other way around it. You know, you went from like being mad, you went from crying, like it was just awful. Like you train the whole year for your season.
Yeah.
And especially my team, like we were so young last year, we did not have a good record. And it was like this was our season to come back, and to just not even have the opportunity to do that and prove people wrong is just, it sucked. Like,
Well, and you know, and the thing was, you were coming off of an injury.
yeah.
So how are you in that sense?
I'm a lot better now. I'm back 100%.
Because you were concussed, right? Yeah. So I mean, so you had to go. You went from injury to training to prepping to Corona to no season to no school to no comeback season, no school. I mean, how have you handled the fact that you're not in school? You didn't have a season. Like, it was all gone. I mean, this is something that's never happened before.
Yeah.
It's like a really long snow day.
Yeah. Really long. It just sucked. Like, there is no way around it. It really just sucked. Like, you kind of just train for what's next. You can't not train and, you know, take days off. So, just still staying at my best until the next tournament arrives.
So what happens as far as future? Do you reset? I mean, obviously you go through school, so as a student, you move forward to the next year. Mm-hmm. Is there any hope of any type of reimbursement of this season or finding a way or nothing?
I don't think so. For college, there was for the seniors, but not for high school.
And to share with everybody how many years you have left at CNS.
I'm going into my junior year, so only 2.
Yeah, so you have 2 seasons left, and you have this opportunity to obviously do some pretty awesome things after that. Your sister just finished things up and had an opportunity to come back. Eventually they figured it out, but she's not able to, as many aren't able to. we'll talk with Sam, I'm sure, at some point. But what did you take away from if you were in Sam's shoes and this was your last season ever playing lacrosse?
Yeah, I mean, for her it was even worse. She the game that she played, she broke. She had 100 career assists, and she didn't even know. They canceled the season in the middle of her game.
Yeah.
So when they pulled her off to the side afterwards and told her for her interview, like, she was starstruck and she had no idea. So that was just awful for her. But she's doing good now. She's got a job, so she couldn't go back. But
yeah,
you know.
And what is she training for? Is she doing?
She's a manager, a district manager at Aldi's. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you up, Sam. I love Aldi's.
Yeah.
I'll let her know. But yeah, actually, that's where I do most of my shopping now because it's cheaper and the food's good, and the scallops are good there.
Yeah. So she's like a whole region. She has a region of stores. So
oh, good for her. Good for you, Sam. That's awesome. So happy to know that. Keep it in the family and working with food. Smart Italian. So how's Dad doing?
He's doing good. We have the national holiday for him Sunday, so we're going Father's Day shopping after this.
Nice. The national holiday. I like that you called it the national
Any
holiday.
birthday for him, Christmas. It's a national holiday.
So what do you do? Do you buy him? Do you go all out?
Yeah, we go all out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole weekend event. So tomorrow, my papa's coming over, and then Sunday we're going on the boat. And
did he deem this an event, or did you, because it's Father's Day?
He has deemed this
so
an event.
so he said to his children, "You're going to do all these awesome things for me."
Yes.
Okay.
And he'll let you know if he is not happy with it, if we failed.
Wow. So he's like, I mean, this is like a comedy waiting to happen type of show. I like this. I kind of want this to be filmed. Can we film it?
Listen, you will be the first one I will let you know if
I want to know.
I did not meet the requirements. So.
I just picture him, he's like an old Italian woman now.
Yeah.
I could see him sitting with his wine going, this is good Moscato, but it's not great.
Better on Christmas. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, you guys have steaks, you have lobster, you go all out for everything.
Yep.
So what are you doing for Dad? Do you know what you're buying?
I have to go to the mall, a bunch of different stores after this with all my friends. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like, is the mall open?
Like, Dick's is open because it's storefront.
Oh, okay.
I have to go through the mall to get there, so, like, I can go there.
All the stores I go to are in the middle of the mall.
Yeah, it's the same here.
I go to, like, 4 stores in the middle. Yeah, you go to Dick's.
Yeah.
So you're going to get him something at Dick's.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom's actually on here right now. So I'm sure your own will be a good one, LOL. So yeah, I think she's talking about mine, what I'm going to do. So I was going to take my dad to Cooperstown, but it's closed. So, because he loves baseball. So I called there and I was like, well, we could still go to restaurants. We could still do this and that. And he's like, but you don't know what's going to be open. But no Cooperstown right now.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I had to ad lib, but you're taking Dad on the boat. You're buying him some gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And is Sam coming in?
Yeah.
Okay. So does Sam have to buy her own individual gifts, or do you go in together?
Yeah. No, we go in together.
Okay.
That would be a lot.
I was gonna say.
It'd be like Christmas.
Well, is this like Dad's Christmas? Is this how he
really
treats it?
Is.
Okay. Is Grandpa? I mean,
he gets the same amount of gifts too. Yeah. They get spoiled on Father's Day.
So Grandpa, my cousin Ralph. So you got to take care of him.
Yeah.
And Dad.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you say to Dad if you jokingly say, like I've said to my dad before, what about Daughter's Day? What does he tell you? It's every day?
Yes, there's no Daughter's Day.
There's no Daughter's Day.
It's literally every day. He'll send me, he might post a picture, and that's about all I get on Father's Day, or on Daughter's Day.
On Daughter's Day.
That's about it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So Dad, during Corona, I mean, Dad's a big guy, right? Dad's like the Hulk. So to put the Hulk in a building and to tell him to stay in the building, it doesn't work. And he texted me yesterday because I know.
Can you read his text?
Yeah, can I read them?
Yeah,
Sometimes. Let me see what he texted me yesterday.
You kind of gotta like decipher it.
There was one text that I had to read like for 3 hours and I still didn't know it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? And he's like arrows and pointing and hearts, and I'm like, okay, I think I get it. But I got this one. It's a thumbs up. You can see Derek right there. Here, hold on, let me put it on. Let me put it on here in real time. You can see You can see that right there. You got the thumbs up, the hearts, and you have the wolf. So because you're the wolf, right? You're the wolf, and Sam was the tiger? No. Yeah, she was the tiger. So you're the wolf, she's the tiger. And yeah, so yesterday, because I talked to him about you coming on the show, he put he's in Utica working security or he would call me. And I'm sitting here thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know if Corona ever affected him. He probably just, like most Italians, Calabres, you know, some of that and whatnot. Like most Italians, our mentality when the world says stay inside, we go, that's not for us. We still got to buy food. We still got to do it. Yeah.
He was busier with security. He was like
probably
double. So yeah, he's working every single day more than so.
What is it like keeping the Hulk in a building after he's turned into the Hulk?
You can try to stop him. No, he's gonna do what he wants. So. Have you
been with Mom more or Dad more?
Dad more.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's Mom doing through all this?
She's doing good. She's working from home, so both my parents didn't really completely affect. She's still working.
So she's working from home. Dad's still doing security, but you spent more time with Dad. So.
Boot camp.
I was gonna say. I mean, this probably didn't work out. This didn't work out great for you because when people were told they're gonna stay at home, they're like, I could sleep in, I could do my classes when I want to. When you're at home with your dad and Corona happens and the world says stay at home, when
Derek's light bulb is like boot camp.
Right, he's like, you're gonna run more, you're gonna lift more. Yeah. He made a little mini gym. So you actually
stairs. We had it all.
So you did more. You've done more training during Corona than before Corona, and before Corona you were training 25 hours a day, pretty much.
Yeah.
So how's training been going?
Fun.
Okay.
Not good.
Yeah.
No, a lot good. I feel a lot better, and I feel like I'm completely ready for tournaments, whatever comes next. So.
Are you going to be better than Sam?
Oh, I already am.
Oh, danger. Now, interest-wise, because you have a couple of years to go and whatnot, and obviously, you know, everything's on hold with recruiting, how have you connected with teams? I know you've gone to visit places, I know you've gone to camps, but you have very, very high aspirations of big-name schools and big opportunities.
We have been going through Sports Recruits, which is like a whole website that all the college coaches are on.
Yeah.
So my highlight video is up on there, and you can message coaches, and you see when they view your profile and video. So, like, I can see what colleges are looking at my profile.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
We'll have to talk about that off the air. But there's probably, is there some in the South?
Yeah.
So I know.
My reaction to it's like finally.
I know that your father. I know Derek and I are very much like I want you to go where you're happy, okay? But if you go to
you're praying south.
Yeah, if you go to Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, if you go to those regions,
you're not gonna complain.
I already have connections there sports wise. I can do my job very easily. And Florida, just to put it out there, is the second home of Wake Up Call. There's a lot of work I do down there with the Gators, with the Seminoles, with the Knights, the Bulls, the Hurricanes. You know, I cover the Jaguars. Basically everything from the top of Florida all the way down to almost Miami. So, just so you know.
That's good.
You know what I mean? I know we're hoping for warmer weather. For some reason, our family migrated over to Ellis Island and then all decided to stay in New York. And none of us, no, my mom's family all went to Florida. My dad's family stayed here.
Why? Well, Derek's coming with me, so.
I know he is. He already told me that he's moving with you.
I could go to Hawaii and he's coming with me.
I've had recruits on here from Hawaii, and I said, your Corona is very different from ours up here. They're like roasting pigs on a beach and having luau's, and we're sitting in the house hoping that it stops snowing in May.
Right,
so.
Yeah.
But the weather's been nice.
Yeah, it has.
It's been 90s, 80s for 2-3 weeks right now. I don't know if I told you this, but I took on something, today's day 54, but never thought, so I played basketball growing up, and Franny also played basketball, and she went toward lacrosse, and I had to hear about how they wanted you to play basketball, which is a great thing to hear, because she is so good at basketball, they wanted her to play. So I decided that I was going to do 10,000 steps a day, and originally it wasn't my idea, and it could kind of just came out of a time in my life, and I was kind of like, what am I going to do? And I walked to clear my head, and I was really upset 50 some odd days ago, and I said, yeah, I'm just going to walk. And then I said, well, what if I do this every day?
Right.
And what if I make it mine? And what if it's for me and not for anybody else? Yeah. So 53 days, today's day 54. I've gone 10,000 steps a day for 53 straight days, and I've gone over 700,000 steps. I've walked over 330 miles.
Crazy.
And in 40 days, I walked what is the equivalent of going from Syracuse to Toronto. And now I've done 20,000, 18,000, 16,000. And now I can't stop. So today's day 54. Yeah. Best shape of my life. Muscles that I didn't know where they were going to be. I was not a big person, but I'm I have
you look great, honestly.
No, thank you. And my olive complexion is back because when you walk in the sun, I'm toning my body and I'm actually looking like a true Italian now. So this is what it looks like to not be on Jersey Shore. You see the glisten? You can see it in the faces. This is what real Italian looks like. So I like that Aaron said good morning to Torres. So what have you done besides training? Don't tell me nothing. What have you done in Corona besides training? For 3 months. It's been 3 months.
Say, haven't stopped lifting.
You haven't stopped lifting.
New maxes.
Yeah, what are you maxing out at now?
I just hit a new max deadlift. 315.
Jesus. And how much do you weigh?
140.
That's
by
uncanny.
myself, and I sent the video to my dad when he was working.
You got to send me the video.
I'll show it. It's really ugly. It's not meant to go anywhere. But
when you're lifting, it is ugly. It's supposed to be ugly. You make weird noises. You know what I mean? You know, 140 pounds lifting 315.
Yeah, it was crazy. I FaceTimed my dad. He was like, "No, you didn't." And then I sent him the video. And I was like,
"Yes." Yeah, I mean, what? But I mean, where do you muster all this up from? Because I mean, you've always been able to lift like that. I mean, you're like a freak athlete. You want to be the best.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At anything.
Yeah, it's just whatever I put my mind to. I don't want to be second, and I want to be first. And I want to make him proud, and it's just a great stress reliever. And I do it for myself and for him, and it's just become a daily thing. And why stop at my last max at 275? Why not keep going?
Yeah.
Like, I'm only a sophomore, so
315. 315 as a sophomore weighing 140 pounds. So as I've said to you before, and Sam, your dad didn't, I think you said this, that your dad kind of trained you through lacrosse, but by training you through lacrosse, he made it so any man that did you wrong would be horrified. So,
yeah.
Like terrified, because you could throw a 300-pound man, you could lift a 300-pound man and just move them. So I don't think, as big as Dad is, I don't know, should they be more afraid of you?
I mean, right.
There he is, the wolf.
I can definitely hold my own, but I don't think, Derek definitely more afraid of Derek.
Your dad just looks more lethal.
Yeah.
I told you.
Teddy bear.
I know he
He's on
is.
his good side.
And that's the thing. Like when we took the drive to Albany and we just sat and talked. I mean, like he's got a rosary. He's got a rosary in the car. We talked about Aunt Fran. We talked about his grandma, your great grandma, and like we had like those real conversations. So it's funny because people see him out at a game and they see the tattoos and the glasses and the muscles and the big dude and whatever.
Harley.
Right, and people are horrified. And we were just crying in the car talking about family.
And he's crying when he's watching the games.
Yeah.
That's why the sunglasses are always on.
Yeah.
He's probably crying right now.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So some parents are overbearing and they're too much. But it seems like you have a great relationship with your dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's my best friend.
So as much as he pushes you, he's not the parent that like is living vicariously through you, trying to make your life better than his and like driving you crazy. Yeah. You actually love working with your dad.
Yeah, I love it. It's become a day-to-day thing where I want to spend time with him and it's not, forced, or he's not, forcing me to do anything. When I wanted to stop playing basketball, he supported me. And whatever I put my mind to, if I wanted to quit everything today and do something else, then we would be the best at that. That's what we would put all of our time in and put our minds to. So.
And that's just, that's just how he is.
Yeah,
that's what he's about. And, so Pops he's very he's got. How do you describe Dad? How would you describe?
That is a great.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how would I describe Derek. All I know is that as I continue to grow, and there's a lot of things I told you I want to do. I want to work with movies. I've sang my whole life.
Yeah.
So when I finally need security detail, I'm hiring. If I don't call him, he's probably gonna shoot me himself.
Yeah,
but like,
he's gonna be pissed.
But I can't wait for the day that I get out of the, because I mean, like, I'm not a small dude and I have muscles and I've done stuff now. So, but he's like a bigger dude, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, you know, I'm not like, it's kind of like Kevin Hart and his you know what I mean, and his detail. So when I get out of the car, you know, and you got Derek, like, I want that. I want to get out of the limo and have Derek, because you know family's going to protect you. You know he's going to love me no matter what. He'll take a bullet for me. He'll be there for me. But at the same time, he looks the part. So it's like, I'm proud of how I look, but then you got big old Derek. And when we walk out and we do that, like, that's my security detail. I feel like your dad should be my security someday.
Yeah, I think he should be. He's really good at what he does. He really is.
He said he's crying right now.
Yeah, I knew that. As soon as you mentioned my grandma, that's his soft spot. That's his weak spot. So
I love. Well, I told him Aunt Fran was the only one that could get, besides me when I would go over, but the only like family member that's like of her generation that could get her out of the house. Yeah. My grandmother would lock herself in the house. She'd just kind of sit there and be depressed all day, watch the news, whatever. Aunt Fran would come over, and she'd be dressed to the nines. So makeup, everything done, lipstick on, hair's perfect. And she's just wearing, you know, she's got that nice coat on. And she's like, Mary, we're going to the movies. And she's like, we're going to the movies. The movie is at 6 o'clock. I have dinner planned before, and we're going to see Saving Private Ryan. My grandmother's like, oh, for God's sakes, Fran, I'm not even dressed yet. And Aunt Fran would sit there and watch her get ready and get her out of the house.
So the stubbornness, pushiness, that must run in the family.
Yeah. When you say to somebody as an Italian, I'm gonna sit in my house and I'm gonna be alone and nobody loves me, they show up like you're gonna die, right? They show up with flowers and food and it's like, what do you need? You know, and they sit there. Like when I went through some hard times in my life, I called my mom. I had like a hard moment in these past couple of years, and called my mom, called my dad. My mom showed up at 2:30 in the morning. And my dad showed up and my mom literally left. My dad showed up an hour after she left. And my dad's like, I'm going to be with him until we go. And then we all went to lunch. It was like, when you need family, there's something inherent in, hopefully in everybody's family, but in an Italian family, and obviously I have other blood and another nationality, but in an Italian family, there is something to be said about, if you need them, you don't really have to ask.
No. We're messed up, but no, we're completely loyal, and I've never met somebody that has my back like my dad does. There's absolutely no one I would call at 3 a.m. besides him.
Huh. Well, that's the thing. Like in my moment of crazy, because you know, I mean, I had some crazy, and in that moment of
crazy,
I dropped that crazy. Dropped that crazy like a microphone. But so I was sitting here trying to figure it out, and it was 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, something inside of me said, I don't know what to do. And I just picked up the phone and I called my mom, because I know that she will always answer. Yeah. And I was like, Ma, this is the situation. I don't know how to handle it. She was like, I will be there. And she stayed on the phone until she got to the door. Yeah. And then she got there, and then it was just kind of like relieved me of my duties. She's like, you go walk away for a minute, and I'm going to talk it through and figure this out. Yeah. And that was it, you know, and it's like, how many grown men in those moments would call their mom and say, you know what, this is too much going on, I need to just, and it's not like a baby thing, it was like, I'm an adult, and this situation is a volatile situation, and I want to be smart, you know?
It doesn't matter what age you are. My friends joke all the time that the roles are reversed, and I'm taking care of a 40-year-old kid. So. Yeah,
probably. But it's like, you know, that love, that like when you need somebody to kind of just, and that was my moment. I needed someone to talk me to my senses, to say, calm down. This is how we're going to handle the situation. And that would have been my grandma if she was here. It would have been, you know, and my mom. And it's just like, there's certain people that can just look you in the eye and go, okay, these are the cards you've been dealt. You can react in a way that could ruin your life, or you can react in a way where you could calm down. Yeah. And I was very, very calm.
Yeah.
I didn't set anything on fire.
Yeah.
But you know, but we, you know, it is. There's something about being in an Italian family where we can legitimately yell at each other, cry, and laugh within 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
It is. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, you know what? You didn't come see me when I was in the hospital 15 years. Oh my God, I'm my grandma. And you know what? That was so funny when you dropped that meatball. Like, it all happens in that moment. But it makes us who we are.
Yeah.
And it gives us our personality.
Yeah. At any time, especially when I was hurt, like, he was my rock through absolutely all of it. Like, I don't know if I could have gotten, you know, through that with him. And he told me I could have sat and cried every day, but I kept training, even though, you know, could not may have been the smart thing, but
you kept
we
going.
kept training, we kept doing what I had to do, and, you know, that's how we got through it, was because of him. So
You found a way to navigate.
Yeah.
And
I trained with what I could and how I could, and we scaled it back a lot, but, you know, kept going.
And he kept you positive.
Yeah.
Kept you focused. Yeah. Because as strong as a person you are, you know, again, we talked about stuff that's out of your control. You had the game taken away from you.
Right.
And, you know, your deal was probably to control it, to bring it back. But you couldn't. And you have your dad there to say, hey, you know what? We're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And I think everybody, it always helps to have that, you know, that Jiminy Cricket, right? That conscience that's going to be your guide. So it's really awesome to see that, you know, you have a father that does what he does, because you guys, I mean, it's like, if you see your training, you see all the pictures he puts up, you might think like, oh my God, he's pushing his daughter because he didn't play, or he didn't do this, or he didn't do that, or he didn't get, but the reality of it all is like, you actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. And when I had that, you know, that's something that you put so many hours in, and you train so hard every single day, and when I couldn't play at that time, it was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? Like, do I stop? But he kept my head in the game, and, you know, we reached out to coaches and how I should, and, you know, we got better than I ever was before, so.
Is there a better trainer than your dad?
No.
What's your favorite part of training? Because he's a rocky guy.
Oh.
Do you guys do you find a place where you can run stairs?
Euclid stairs.
Euclid stairs, okay.
God, my favorite?
Favorite part of training?
I say how it's... Favorite part of training would probably be that it's fun. Like, it really is fun, and he'll go through every single emotion while we're at the gym for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's something that we bond together, and we can't wait. Like, after this, I'm going to lift with him.
You're going to train.
So
that's part of the Father's Day festivities.
Yeah. So it's just the bond that we have, and, you know, that we get to do it every day is just really, really, really cool.
I hope that I'm a father someday where I get an entire weekend. That's my goal. So Derek has to train me. I want to read this. Now, you've seen all the Rocky movies, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen Creed.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. And
Creed.
Southpaw.
And Southpaw, okay. So this quote is my favorite quote from any Rocky movie, when he's talking to his son, when he says, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. You're laughing. Has dad brought this up? Has he quoted it?
Yeah. I didn't even know it sounded like him, and I didn't even know it was from the movie. So, yeah, he never sheltered anything from me, really. It was never, you know, sunshine and rainbows and that the world is an amazing place and all of that. You know, he never sugarcoated it, so. Yeah.
I mean, you probably, you know, because I know, obviously, you know, he brought up Sam and trained Sam and whatnot. So you probably, yeah, I mean, from like being a baby, he probably didn't tell, I mean, you probably knew more about the world at 5 than maybe some people know at 45.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely grew up fast, but I don't think I would have it any other way. And, you know, he had a hard life, but it was, you know, we have each other, and that's all you can really do. And, you know, he just never really sugarcoated it, and it was like, it's a good thing, because you have kids in my grade that can't even order a pizza on the phone.
Yeah, you told me about that.
You
When
know,
they're like, how did you just call and, like, you
like...
talk to a person? Yeah, what'd you do? May I have a large cheese with 5 wings? Oh my God, you're gonna be like the president. It's like you told me you go to restaurants and the waiter comes up and you have to order off the menu like you're their mom. Yeah. What is wrong with this world?
No, I really don't.
What has happened? And how? So I'm 34. How old are you now?
I'm 16.
Okay, so we're 18 years apart,
Mm-hmm.
and yet you and I have the same morals.
Yeah.
Which is a shout out to Derek and Mom. But, I mean, because we've talked about last time you were here, that you and I are virtually the same human being 18 years apart.
It's crazy.
And when they talk about how your generation doesn't have morals, they don't have values, they don't have this, you don't have that, but you're in that generation. And you get frustrated with your own generation because they don't get it.
No, they don't.
So, I mean, like, how weird is it for you to be, I mean, I guess it's weird like it was for me, especially in high school, you know, like when you are a nice person, you're good to everybody, you work hard, you know, you're not racist, you're not prejudiced, you're not sexist, you just go and do your thing, and you have values and morals, you believe in God. You probably go through some of that, why are people so mean, and why is the world like this, just like I did. Yeah,
it's, I mean, I think that I come off as a very... It's a very warming person, but like, you know,
you're always smiling.
Yeah. I'm definitely a tough person, and like, I don't really like to judge people just by like looking at them and you know, how they come off, because there's certain people that have the biggest heart but a very tough, you know,
exterior.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think that, you know, once you get past a lot of people's of that front that everybody has up, that you really start building friendships. And I have a really good core group of friends that it's small, but I wouldn't, you know, want
you will learn that you got to keep that, keep that circle tight. You got to keep that circle small, and, you know, and it's okay to move things in and out of that circle. You know, it's funny, people always do to me if I take somebody out of my life. Now listen, if you say to somebody, stop being a jerk, stop being mean, or you're going to force my hand to move you out. What do they say to you? What would Jesus do? Why would you do that? Like, what? And it's like, no. If you look somebody eye and you go, stop being a mean person, or else I'm going to move you out. Yeah. And they continue to be a mean person. Doesn't it shock you that they blame you for moving them out?
Yeah, I've had friends like that. Yeah.
Where you're like, you forced my hand. I said all I said to you was just knock it off. Stop being depressed. Stop being negative. Stop being hateful. Like, let's just move forward. Like, if somebody is sitting within my table, and I hear disrespect toward women, or I see somebody say something, whatever, I can't sit there and go, oh, you know what, that's okay to objectify. I speak. If I'm sitting at a table and somebody says the N-word, I will sit there and go, I'm not going to ever eat with you again if that word gets spoken. So you have to be willing, and again, it's like people that do bad, they always put it on people that try to be good, like you and I, where they say, well, you can't get rid of me because you believe in God. God doesn't get rid of anybody. I'm like, you can't use faith like that.
No, not at all. You cannot use faith like that.
Because like that circle, I got a really good circle. Some people I didn't even know, I thought they left the circle, but they were there the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get that like really good core, those people that you would like go anywhere with, like the people that, you know, if you hung out with all of them on a trip somewhere, that it would be a fantastic movie. That's that.
It would be a reality TV show.
Right. That's that core that we all hope to have.
Yeah.
You know, and so, I mean, that's important. And the other part of it is, like, in my, like, really tight-knit circle, a piece of that is my mom, and a piece of yours is Pops. Yeah. You know? So it's cool that, like, we have that. Because when I was growing up, it wasn't cool to go to the mall with your mom and do this. I did everything with my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still do. I saw her 8 days in a row. We ate dinner, like, every day. I went over there for the pool. I helped her yesterday with moving something. And there's a stark difference between being a daddy's girl or a mama's boy and just loving your parents.
Yeah.
And just knowing, like, don't call me a mama's boy or a daddy's girl because my parents are cool and yours aren't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
some parents are just really good at being your friend and your parent.
Yeah.
And you said your dad's your best friend.
Yeah, he is.
And he's
definitely crying.
he's continued to cry. So we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. So we will be back momentarily here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We appreciate you being here. So much more coming up on this broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And obviously we are here with Tortora squared inside of the studios. We have Fran and myself, Dan Tortora. When we come back, Fran and I are going to have a little bit of fun playing rapid fire. So we're gonna question each other back and forth, and we're gonna discuss some other things because we're gonna talk about life. We're gonna call it the something that we're gonna call it like the Corona hours,
Right.
and we'll discuss things that you should have developed during Corona time. Okay. So we'll talk about that because every time Fran's on the show, we seem to educate people. I feel like Fran could teach 50-year-olds at 16, and I'm hoping that she does. So when I run for president, this is part of my cabinet right here. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back right after this. Charney's Men's Clothing is your one-stop shop for your men's dress up and dress down wear. Located on 3150 Erie Boulevard East in Syracuse, Charney's Men's Clothing is proud to be your trusted name for decades in suits, sport coats, tuxedos, and all accessories. Charney's Men's Clothing also provides sports and leisure-themed casual wear for the everyday man. Stop in and see our welcome and friendly staff on 3150 Erie Boulevard East in Syracuse. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you download their app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. It has the entire menu and contactless pay, so perfect for everything that's been going on, unfortunately, in our society right now with coronavirus. This makes it very easy to see the whole menu, get what you want, and they have a drive-up window. They are local with a drive-through window. You don't see that every day. Millhouse Market has definitely been able to do some fantastic things in our wonderful central and upstate New York community, including having that drive-up window. So you order it on your phone, contactless pay for it. You can tip right there on your phone as well and pick up your food. Awesome, awesome sandwiches, salads, brick oven pizzas, desserts. It doesn't get any better than the Millhouse Market. There is no substitute to it because thanks to Rebecca Elford, all of her recipes homemade and just fantastic. And, you know, they say you can only be great at one thing and good at maybe a lot of things. She's great at a lot of things. And whether it is sushi or it's sandwiches or it's pizzas or it's desserts, whatever it may be, the Millhouse Market is special and it is worth the drive every single time. I promise you that, as I've pretty much driven there every single week for the last 2 months during coronavirus, sometimes twice a week. So thank you to Millhouse Market on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. With that being said, we are back here inside of the Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Beautiful, beautiful studios brought to you by Charney's Menswear and Tuxedos. This is Fran. This is me. And look, she's not a cardboard cutout. Like, this is an actual person who's in the studio because we've decided as an Italian family that Corona needs to go and she needs to just retire for good.
Yep.
We're done with Corona.
I need to get back on the field.
Yeah, so yeah, Fran wants to get back on the field. So we are here inside of the Charney's Menswear and Tuxedo Studios, 3150 Erie Boulevard East in Syracuse, New York. We're doing a segment of the show right now called the Corona Hours. These are things you should have learned during Corona times. So, some relationships did not last through Corona. And they didn't last through Corona. There are some, and I can tell you wholeheartedly, as I told Fran before, if I had the relationship that I had a few years ago, somebody wasn't coming out of here alive, and you know I'm not going to die. So, and like, but some relationships didn't make it through Corona. Yeah. And, you know, God bless those people that had to be trapped in that house, but I'm very happy that I was trapped in my house with Lily, and that was it. So what should you have learned if you're in a relationship during Corona times? What should we have learned?
I don't know.
Some don't make it.
Some really don't make it. Yeah, me and my dad got to that. We were. Oh, it was a little.
You and Dad got to
a little too much time at some point.
You and Dad butted heads. Okay.
I was like, go to your room, just we gotta separate. But yeah, I guess you just learn whether if it's gonna work or not.
Right.
That's kind of like your deal breaker.
It's like a crack. It's kind of like I'm a big fan of Big Brother, and I've auditioned for it before and got called down to New York City, which was pretty cool. So I realized that not only do I think I have the skills as someone who talks for a living to be on the show, and that I can be nice to everybody, and I can help people to feel safe and comfortable. I think I had all of that. But now that I've, you know, been trapped in a house for 3 months, which is like Big Brother, now I'm very confident that I did the opposite of go crazy. I took care of myself, went walking, did things I needed to do.
Right.
So I think that I'm 100%. I think I'm more than prepared for Big Brother now.
I think there's like two types of people in quarantine.
Yeah.
And it's the ones that kind of just were lazy, did nothing every day, and kind of just nothing. And then like you had people that really like got into a routine and changed their day to day for the good. And
it's okay to be in your pajamas sometimes, but like I sleep on the weekends, right? Because of all this is going on, I've been able to sleep in on Saturday and sleep in on a Sunday, which I appreciate. But, you know, like for me, you know, you're around different people at different times. And I was around people during Corona time that ate dessert every day. Yeah. And I don't eat dessert every day. Yeah. And eat cookies like 12 cookies a night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like eat a whole thing of like all the like 2 out of 3 of the tubes of Oreos. I can't do that. First and foremost, that makes me mad. Because if I bought Oreos on Monday, I don't want to buy them on Wednesday. But my thing is like, I can't do that. Can you eat? I mean, we have sweet tooth. We're Italian, but can you eat sweets like
every day?
Every day.
No, I'm that friend in the friend group that everybody makes fun of because I order like kale salads everywhere I go, and I'm just a complete like I like good food, like healthy food.
You like healthy stuff.
But when it's time, you know, for dessert.
What's the dessert?
Times a week. Me and my dad just had strawberry shortcake. We made strawberry shortcake the other night.
Oh, I got fresh strawberries from Hafner's yesterday. They're so good.
We did that the other night. And there's the ice cream run that Derek gets like 5 different kinds of ice cream, puts it in the freezer for later, and then you just hear him at like 2 in the morning. Just
getting ice cream.
And then you just like hear like all the wrappers.
What does he get? Oh, he gets individual ones?
So he has the like,
I feel like sometimes we were separated at birth. I mean, I know we're already related, but like, because there's sometimes you want a Choco Taco. There's other times you want like an orange, you want the orange cream, right? There's just like, sometimes I want a cookie sandwich. So if I brought him to Disney, like you get the individuals. And then like, so him and I would be like staying at a timeshare in Disney, just getting Toll House cookies at 3 o'clock. Yeah. That's awesome. So he doesn't buy like a tub of ice cream. He just buys individually wrapped ice cream.
We'll go to Fifi's on James Street.
Yeah, you go to like a corner place. Yeah, or go something like that.
Just get it to go and put a lid on it and have it for.
And just have it for later.
Yeah.
Smart father. That's good stuff. So I feel like chocolate cake is in every Italian family. Is it not? Do you have it now?
I don't really like cake like that.
See, I like, but it's got to be like chocolate 8 times over.
Yeah, it can't be like dry and gross.
No, it's got to be like the moist with the chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate.
Right.
Vanilla, if you put chocolate frosting on vanilla cake, it makes me mad.
It doesn't taste good.
It pisses me off. Like if I cut into a cake that has chocolate frosting on it and there's vanilla cake, I want to slap somebody, but that's Italian, right? Like, because we hit people when it comes to food.
What about when you eat chicken cutlets with ketchup? I have friends that do that.
People eat steak with ketchup. People eat everything with ketchup. Like, why? You know what I mean? And I found out ketchup, like, oh my God, in college I dated this one girl who said that she eats everything with ketchup because the reality is she'd rather just eat ketchup.
That's disgusting.
We dated for like 14 minutes. I'm gonna say we dated for maybe 2 months.
Is not it.
Maybe 2 months. I was like,
not the one.
I was like, this is not. I just remember sitting at her table, and I don't remember what we ate. I just remember ketchup, like a lot of ketchup. I can tell you on probably. I have ketchup on a hot dog with mustard.
And a hamburger, and that's about it.
Yeah, hot dogs and hamburgers, and then no more ketchup. Chicken cutlets with ketchup?
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't know. To me, that's like, you know, that's like a capital punishment offense.
Yeah, this is so bad.
That's like jail for life. That's like death row.
Yeah.
How do you eat? Oh my God. But I love, you know, but I love chicken cutlets. And you can't, like, and you have to have an Italian family make them. Because if somebody tries to make chicken cutlets, or if they tell you, like, oh, it's just fried chicken, it's not. It's so different. What is your favorite Italian food? Now I really want chicken cutlets. Who makes them? Dad?
My dad.
Derek, can I come over for chicken cutlets? He invited me over before Corona.
Yeah.
He's like, Dan, we have Sunday sauce every Sunday. You don't need an invitation. Just show up at my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I feel weird. Like, I feel like it should. He's like, why? Just come to the house.
It's literally us in the talks.
I want meatballs and chicken cutlets. That's all I want.
That's fine.
You know, to easily make homemade meatballs. See,
Yeah.
such a good cook.
Yeah, none of my friends' moms can cook. He makes fun of it a lot. Like, all moms and dad. Like, they I don't know if it's a sister thing. They really just can't cook for anything to save their life.
I'm not saying. Okay, because you're a woman. There's a young woman here that I'm saying this to, folks, because the world is all PC now. So, as a woman, don't you believe that women should be able to cook?
I think everybody should be able to cook.
Because as a man, I cook all the time. So I can't marry, date, or anything a woman who can't cook.
Yeah.
Because I think that, and let me preface this before people take a soundbite and go, Dan said women have to cook. No, I think men and women should cook. But if I'm a man who can cook 7 days a week, I want a woman who will join me in the kitchen. I think it's a very, to me, it's therapeutic to cook. Calms me down.
He used to cook with my grandma.
Yeah.
And I wish that I could have met her longer and, like, you know.
How old were you?
I was a baby. I was like 1 or 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's one of those things that it's so weird, but like I'm feeling so connected to her.
Yeah.
And like I never really knew her when I was older. Like he says it all the time.
But you feel connected to her because of the cooking.
Yeah. And it's like, because I'm always in the kitchen with him and he taught me how to cook, and like my friends just find it so fascinating. I made them tacos and they like.
It's the first thing I made, tacos and pancakes.
You chop things. You don't even have to cook it.
The shell is made. The shells are made. You put the meat. You put the meat. Put the meat on the stove, and when the meat is cooked, you just put the seasoning on it that's already made, and you stir it up, and then you put lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese. You could buy the lettuce that's already cut. You could buy the tomatoes that are already cut. You could buy the cheese that's already cut. So all you have to do is legitimately open bags, put seasoning on meat, and then put it in a taco. Who are these people?
This is my friends.
So if they were sitting right here in the studio, would they be giggling because they'd be too nervous to come in here?
No.
They wouldn't be nervous.
We're very... we have a lot of strong personalities in my group.
So they wouldn't be nervous to come in the show. All right, that's good to know. But are these the same people that can't order in public? This is not your core. Your core, like, I think you have a good core, Fran.
I do.
I would expect you to have, like, good ride or dies here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The core of my group is, you know, they can do a lot by themselves.
Okay.
They really can't, I'd say cook well, but like they find
do their parents cook? Does their mom cook?
That's probably why.
That's why you get
yeah.
Italians, but we pass things on through cooking. If you cook in the kitchen, You were saying it with your dad. If you cook in the kitchen with your family, you are not cooking in the kitchen with your dad. You're cooking in the kitchen with
all the generations.
Yeah, you're cooking in the kitchen with, your great grandma. You're cooking in the kitchen with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if I'm in the kitchen with. If I'm just here by myself, I'm here with my mom who's still on this earth. I'm here with both of my grandmothers. I'm here with my grandfathers. Like, I'm cooking with my whole family. And that's something that because from cooking to serving, sitting, eating, and having coffee and dessert after, an Italian family in 4 hours' time can share with you 19 generations just by cooking a meal.
Yeah.
On a Monday.
Crazy.
That's why Mondays don't suck for me. Because I can make whatever the hell I want, and I can enjoy it. Like, I make blueberry pancakes on Saturday mornings because my dad did that with me growing up. So, and it's just, I don't know, like, and I love when I make food and people go, can you just make, and they don't have allergies. It's like, can you just make sure that this is, and I'm like, get out of, my dad will stand over me, because I don't measure. If I'm baking, I do. But if I'm making pancakes, my dad will stand over me, what is that, what are you doing with that? And I'm like, Dad, go sit down. He complains, he yelled at me in the kitchen. And then when it's done, he ate 10 pancakes. Yeah. And little pancakes, he ate 10 of them. Nothing. Yeah. I was like, go sit down. Yeah. Are you putting vanilla in them? Or are you putting brown sugar? Could you just shut up and eat the pancakes?
Yeah, he does the exact same thing. It's just, I don't know. I don't know why you can't just shut up and let me do it. Like, I really don't. Like, I've only literally cooked every meal with you.
Yeah.
For as long as I can remember, we do the same thing. Like, I think I got it by now. Like,
but you also understand the old Italian way is gone, where just as much as you can cook and you can do great things in the kitchen, you will not be with a man who expects you to wait on him. Oh, heck no. Because that was my dad's generation. No. That was your grandpa, my dad's generation, was like, I leave my underwear on the floor, and you pick it up. My dad did not know how to do laundry. When I left for college at 18, my dad still didn't know how to do laundry.
It was the same thing when Sam went there. A lot of her friends didn't know. She had to teach, like, a lot of her teammates how to do laundry. Yeah.
My dad didn't know how to do laundry. My dad had meals for... When my mom had to travel, my mom would put meals for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. All he had to do was take them out and heat them up, and he would complain, well, I didn't really want corn today. I was like, oh, if she stabs you when she gets home, I'm going to let her stab you. And then when the cops come, I'll be like, I didn't see the knife. I don't know. Something happened. But, like, you know what I mean? It's like, as much as you know how to cook, can't be taken advantage of for it, because women in Italian families have cooked forever. Yeah. But the thing that we don't talk about enough is the men do. I do. Derek does. Like, men, we cook in an Italian household, and that's how we know what we want, and we know what we like. And so I could never, and this might sound crazy to people, I could never, ever be with a woman who can't cook. Yeah. Ever.
I could never, ever be with somebody that couldn't cook.
I couldn't. I could not be with, like,
just be able to fend for themselves. Like,
right.
I couldn't be...
Make me something. Like, right. Give me something. And not corned beef and cabbage. Like, don't try to kill me, have the whole house smelling like booty. Like, I don't want, like, smelling like you just ran for 4 hours. So, like, you have to make good food. You know what I mean? Because some people are just like meat and potatoes. I need flavor in my food.
Yeah, a lot of my friends will, like one of my best friends, she literally just eats chicken and rice every day. Like, every day. Like, makes, like, a Tupperware container of it, and we'll eat it every day, like, and have it for the week.
What's your favorite stuff to eat?
Steak. Lobster, salmon. Yeah.
Salmon. I made my first salmon a few weeks ago.
We just got into it about, like, probably less than a year ago.
I bought it at Aldi's, actually.
Yeah, we eat it, like, every other night.
I love making scallops. Because on the show... you don't like scallops? Well, on Hell's... Then you haven't had them right. So, but if you go to, like, in Hell's Kitchen, when you watch that show, the one thing nobody could ever make was scallops. So that's something I wanted to be able to do. And I made them, and I actually like mine. I like the ones in Disney, and I like the ones I make. Mm-hmm. And my dad's are pretty good, too. So, like, outside of that, I don't really order them when I go out. Because it's got to be a certain texture where it can't be chewy, but they can't be, like, hard. You have to find this balance. But scallops are good. I love shrimp.
Yeah, me too.
Shrimp all day.
See, I'm like, the way you order scallops, I'm like that with chicken cutlets. Like, if I go to a restaurant, I will not order it. Because they never right.
You know who has really good veal?
Do it wrong.
Really, really good veal. I got a veal Parmesan sandwich. And I took a leap of faith because I love Avicoli's and we work together, but I never order veal out. And I didn't even know they had veal. The veal Parmesan at Avicoli's is, like, the texture of it is fantastic. Every single bite, no fat, no nothing. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
I will not order veal out because I get so nervous that people are going to screw it up. Avicoli's, shout out to, they're the only place right now to me that can make good veal. Because I've never made veal.
Yeah.
Have you had it? No? You've never had veal?
Scared.
Would you say you're scared?
Yeah.
It's so good. If it's my grandma, my dad's mom, that I was talking.
What animal is veal?
Cow.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's baby cow. It's not really great how it happened. Yeah.
That's probably why I've never eaten it.
But it is like it's so good. And that's the thing, like, but no, veal Parmesan from Abicoli, seriously. I wanted it yesterday. I want it today. I'm gonna get it this weekend because, like, when you just want it,
Yeah.
and you order other food from other places and you end up getting it anyways. Like, I can't, and they're not a sponsor, and maybe someday they will be, so, I don't know. Forget this, that I said this, but I get a hankering twice a year for Chipotle. And then my body reminds me why it hates Chipotle. And I went through a 3-day, like, I went through my body, then it went through my body again, and then my stomach hurt the 3rd day. And it's like, it's one of those things that, like, is bad, and you do it, and then your body does exactly what it did the last time. If you ever want to suck the life out of yourself, eat at Chipotle.
I don't like fast food like that. Like, all my friends
The burritos is what.
McDonald's, Chipotle.
I didn't go to McDonald's
Chick-fil-A
once during.
every other day.
See, I love Chick-fil-A, but Burger King, you'll see me go there once in a great. But I can't go to McDonald's. I can't. I don't go to Wendy's. I really, through Corona, have gone almost nowhere. I went somewhere a couple days ago because I had to, but, like, Chick-fil-A, I'll go. I love the chocolate peppermint shake. I don't get shakes out a lot, but the chocolate peppermint shake, and I do love Chick-fil-A, and we're partnered up. I mean, I love what they do because I've loved their food for a long time, but it's different. Yeah. To me, like, I can deal without. If Burger King and McDonald's vanished tomorrow, and this is not me wishing bad on anybody, if they never existed, like, it wouldn't faze me at all. Yeah. If I just went down the street, no more McDonald's.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
Chick-fil-A, like, I can eat all of that, like, once in a while.
Yeah. But you don't eat it all the time.
I don't know how people just eat it every day.
I don't know how you eat. The McDonald's line was insane.
Cook, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
But the thing is, like, if you're like, I asked this one kid in New Jersey, his favorite local restaurant. He told me Buffalo Wild Wings. I asked, oh, you're gonna freak out. Franny's gonna fall over. So I asked you, or I asked this one kid, a recruit, a couple weeks ago. I don't think you're ready for this. I wasn't ready for this. Get ready for this. Derek, cover your ears. He's gonna Hulk. He's gonna break a wall right now. Because he's not gonna be okay with this. I asked the kid, what is your favorite Italian restaurant?
If he said Olive Garden, bro, I swear.
Oh, it's worse. He said Pizza Hut. He said Pizza Hut. He said Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Like, Pizza Hut. Sbarro's, Pizza Hut. Like, what it... I had one... This is how selective my Italian memory is. This one girl I was talking to, God, it had to be 12 years ago. I can't even remember her name or what she looked like. This is how much my memory disliked what she said to me. She goes, I went to New York City and I ate at an Italian spot. You'd be so proud of me. I ate at an authentic Italian pizzeria. Where? Times Square. So I already knew this was BS. She goes, I ate at a place called I was like, Sbarro's? That is not authentic. That is in the mall. If it's in the mall, it's not, like, no. You know, she ate at Sbarro's. And she's like, I had real cheese pizza. No, you didn't. You got to go to Uncle Rico's. Like, that's real. Like, you get real. Go to Avicoli. I mean, there's how many places do we have in Syracuse?
So many.
Right? And it's like...
At a pizza shop.
What pizza shop? Oh, you work at Pepino's?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice. Good for you. So, but it's like it's like real. And the way I test a place, because I'm a Ninja Turtle at heart, is if you first and foremost, the pizza has to look the part. Mm-hmm. It's got to be triangle, not square.
Like twin cheese.
Yeah, you got to have the little long rectangle where you pick it up and. So no, you gotta have. It's got to be a triangle and it's got to be big. If the plate's like this, it's got to be coming off the plate and the cheese and it's got. You know what I mean though? Triangle's better and it's got to have those little brown bubbles and that's how I test a place. I go to a new spot. I get a cheese or pepperoni because that's basic, and if I can rock with that, then it's okay. That's fair, right?
That's fair.
But triangle's better than square,
yeah.
And everything's better than rectangle.
Yeah.
But you got to get when you get you know what I mean? You get a cheese pizza, you want a big slice for $2. Not these places that are like you get this little tiny thing that'll be $4.99. No, it's not. I'm not paying that. $4.99 for what? I mean, I know that and sometimes the tomato pie they put in the square and that's fine, but I can't handle when people don't know how to make pizza and when they tell me that they're like, if you got a thing on the wall that says you got voted, congratulations for paying off that committee. Because if you make a pizza that's not triangle and the cheese isn't coming off and there's no bubbles and that's not homemade sauce, take that sign down because you're lying to everybody. Yeah. World's best pizza. No, it's not. But if you think Pizza Hut's good, I guess maybe, Yeah.
I got nothing on that one.
See, I told you you'd be speechless. What's your favorite slice of pizza? What do you put on it?
I like margarita pizza because I don't really like cheese.
Oh, margarita is really good.
Yeah, because it's or tomato pie, it's mostly sauce.
Yeah.
So
well, and it's got there's something about the texture of the mozzarella that they put on there. Yeah. Mozzarella. No. But don't you get crazy when people say manicotti? I get nuts. I just I tell people all the time, how do I remember all your Italian words? Just put a G in it. There's always a G, whether you see it or not. Tortora has a G in it. It's silent, but there's always a G. It's monagot, rigot. It's ricotta. Oh my God. I can't. And people that are if you're in Syracuse, there are so many Italians and there's a Catholic church every 15 minutes. So if you don't know how to say monagot, leave. And nobody knows how to say calamari. It's all calamari.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Right?
Yeah, that's my fault. I can't say
Yours
that.
is calamari. Mine is manicotti. I still remember the girl that said it to me. I still remember the girl in high school that said, "You want some manicotti?" And I was like, "Oh my God." You know what I mean? Those are the moments. That's like a rally cry. It's a fighting word. Yeah. If you wanted to trash talk me on a lacrosse field, say manicotti one more time. I will hit you with my stick. I don't even care if I get something for it. Well,
it would be so funny if we had microphones and people could hear what we say in the lacrosse field.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So bad.
Yeah. You have a girl walk up to you and she's just like, calamari. Do it. I'm listen, and I'll stand up there and be like, "What? I didn't see anything." She's good. She said calamari. And when Italy won the World Cup in 2006, do you remember when they played France? How they got the best player from France to get knocked out of the game?
How?
This guy Zidane came up to one of the Italian players and he headbutted him. But after the fact, the Italian player went up to him and he said something about "Oh, you like it, whatever, like your sister." And so Zidane, because he knew Zidane had a temper, so Zidane from France headbutted the guy so he couldn't do penalty kicks. And so Italy won on penalty kicks. They asked the coach from Italy, "What do you think about your player saying what he said to him?" He goes, "Hey, I commend my player. He knew it was going to work." So sometimes trash talking works.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to get in people's head when you're playing.
Yeah, you like trash talking.
Oh, yeah. I think it's so funny when people girls lacrosse games are not entertaining. Pretty dirty. We really do.
They are entertaining. What do you mean they're not?
I get that all the time.
It's very physical. Oh my God. It's not because you're
not football.
No, but you're watching the game and you're in your head you're like, "Oh, it's got to be so easy to just get around." But it's people. You got to be. It's like watching soccer. Your footwork and your endurance has to be. You have to be able to literally be like a horse and just have the stamina the entire game to not stop.
Yeah.
And people frustrate the hell out of you. You're trying to put the ball in that little tiny net, and you're just, what I mean? And it's it looks like, "Oh yeah, I could do that," but you can't. It's hard.
It is hard.
but you love it.
I do.
And you're successful at it. Yeah, good old Olive Garden. So, Olive Garden and Pizza Hut. So, what else should we learn in Corona? What did you learn from Corona?
I learned that I can't sit in the house for that long. I really didn't like my quarantine wasn't like uneventful.
Same.
Like I kept social distancing with friends and I didn't like sit in my house for 3 months and do nothing. Like I kept my training. I kept.
Some people like that though. They're like, I just like being alone anyway, so I'll just sit alone. I'm like, what? It concerns me when people like being alone, especially in like a big house.
Yeah, it's kind
like
of creepy.
They have a big house and they want to be by themselves, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, you're the person where if there was a zombie apocalypse, you would just watch everybody die from your house. Like those people that, no, but it's true. That you got like 5 rooms and it's like, and you got food for like 10 years and it's like, I have no faith. Where with me, I'd be like, I'd figure out who you take in.
Yeah.
Because after a while, like The Walking Dead, if you've survived for years, you could be a good person or you could just be crazy. So you got to be very picky, choosy about who you let in the house. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just, and I've kind of prepared for that in my brain because this felt like a zombie apocalypse. Watching people going with masks on and social distancing, and we don't know what's this and that. What can you touch and not touch? Yeah. But, I've realized that if you want somebody to get away from you, all you have to do is sneeze.
Yeah. I've learned that Derek looks a lot scarier when he has a mask on. We would go into stores and like it would just be his eyes and like you couldn't tell that he was like smiling. It was so funny.
Oh, I love that.
I'd just be like, sorry.
He's not mad.
He's not mad. Like, he's not scaring you.
Yeah. Well, because but I have the sleeve that comes all the way down, like the running sleeve. So I put that up, and it kind of looks like a renegade. But you're forced to look at people's eyes. Yeah,
it's really weird.
It's strange because you can't see if somebody's smiling or frowning. What did John say? John Goose. He said, Derek, what an awesome young lady. Good luck with your recruiting, Fran. Great job with the show.
Thanks, Goose.
So, you know that someone's connected to an Italian family when his name is Goose. There's got to be nicknames, right? There's always nicknames. So you learned from Corona. So you had an eventful Corona. Mm-hmm. We can all agree that Corona is a nasty old bee, and we don't want her to come back again. Mm-hmm. So what should the world have learned from Corona? That lady that cut me off yesterday didn't learn. Flipping out on me. I was like, woman, you're so lucky that I used my Corona for good, because for the last 54 days I taught myself to not flip you off and be mad.
What do we learn from Corona?
Yeah, what should we learn from Corona? From the world stopping?
No, I think really be thankful for your everyday things.
Yeah.
Honestly, you take for granted so much, and when you have all of that taken away, you can't do extracurricular activities, you can't go to the store, some people can't see, certain family members because of health conditions, you really take everything for granted, so let's just be thankful for what you have on a day-to-day basis.
I miss movie theaters so much right now. It's killing me that we can't go to the movies. Do you have something that you like to do, like a hobby that you haven't been able to do?
Say the mall.
Go to the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to the mall and spend a day at the mall and I can't do it all the time, but I can spend a day there and have fun.
See, I'm like a shopaholic. I can shop.
You can shop all the time.
Day.
Okay, so when the mall reopens, we're gonna shoot a video of Tortora Squared when we shop at the mall. Where are we shopping? I'll tell you where I go.
We're going in every store. Yeah, I shop.
I understand why we have the same blood. The more we talk.
I was online shopping, packages to my house.
I want to buy Toronto Raptors sneakers because I'm almost completely head to toe in Raptors gear, but I need sneakers, and I found them online.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't buy anything online during Corona. You did for the both of us. What did you buy?
A lot.
Like what? Clothes.
A lot of clothes.
Okay. From where? Kohl's?
Everywhere now.
No. Where'd you buy them from?
Urban.
Okay.
Shein. A lot of those places. They're all online stores.
So you bought clothes, but here's my thing. When I go to the mall, I could do like be that family who's got like the 10 bags. I would do that. I think it's fun to go to the mall, and first of all, you get your steps in, you're walking, you have fun, but you got to go to the mall with someone that wants to go to the mall.
Yeah.
So
Can't have a Debbie Downer.
no. So we're going to the mall. We're going to every store. So I'll tell you the stores that I have to go to. I have to go to the Disney store because I love Disney. So I have to go to the Disney store. I got to go to.
It's like a kid store.
No, they upped it. There's.
Literally a toy store.
They
There's
put more. They put adult stuff in there. You said we're going to every store. Don't lie to me, Fran. So we're gonna go to the Disney store. We're gonna go to. I will not go to the Apple store. I think they're all robots. I think that at night they all go to the back and they get plugged in. I don't think any of them are human. So I'm not going to the Apple store.
They're so smart. It's insane.
They're smart, but they're also like mean. Like they didn't help me when I needed stuff.
When I go in there, I just feel really stupid. They're like, really? Like you didn't know how to like fix that? Like,
I think they're aliens. I honestly think they're aliens, which is why it's so bright in there. You know, because I think it's a spaceship that leaves every night. So anyway, that's what, it's true. So, and that's why there's like capacity, whatever. So I'm going to go there. I'll go to Best Buy because I have a gift card, so I have to use it. So I'll go to Best Buy. I have to go to, oh man, I'm forgetting places. I'll go to the comic book shop. I'll go to Finger Lakes and get my tea. I'll go to the roastery there, get some tea there. Where else am I going? There's like 5 places I go to. I can't even think right now. I'll go to Hot Topic sometimes. Depends on, I only go like the front of the store. I go to see what they have in there, like graphic stuff, whatever. So I'll go in there and I'm forgetting one that was just put. Oh, I gotta go to Bath and Body Works because that's where I get the soap. I'm almost out of soap. I keep putting a little bit of water in the soap to make the soap last. God, yeah. Right? That's what we do. So, but that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, I mean, like I will shop all day. The last time I went to the mall before Corona, I was there all day. I'll go to TJ Maxx. Their TJ Maxx is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'll go anywhere. I won't go to my favorite sports shop because their service is horrible. Their stuff is way too expensive for their service to be that bad. Like something that you buy there. Wow. No, it's true. Like it's something that should cost $30 costs $55, and your service sucks. So that makes it feel like it's not $25 more. It feels like it's $50 more. And I'll go to Kodo because their chicken is awesome and their sushi is fantastic. I get it to go, like the one right in the chicken to go, yeah. The chicken to go one, it's like a honey chicken. Yeah. It's so good, and they put like the onions and stuff in there. It's awesome. It's like $6.
I know, it's crazy.
So Fran and I, we're gonna shoot it. We're gonna shoot one from the mall. That's what we're gonna do. Can we do that?
We can.
Let's do that. So we're gonna shop. You're gonna probably spend more money than me.
Derek might have to take another security job for that.
Yeah. Derek, make sure you work a couple weekends here before the mall opens. Is that phase 4? We're in phase 3, right?
It's gotta be the next one.
Supposed to be open in the mall soon.
You can get your nails done, so I don't know why you wouldn't be able to
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people going to Miracle Nails.
Yeah. Like
Rushing right in
nails,
there.
Hair, all of that stuff is open again, so I don't know why.
Somebody got me to do never done any of this stuff before. I did the pedicure thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I did that, and then I put my hands in this rubber stuff that like makes like a mask of your hand. I don't know. She's like, put your hand here. I'm like, what do you mean? And you put it in there, and it comes off with like this pink glue type. I don't know what the hell I did. All I know is that it cost me like $20 or $22. Yeah. But the pedicure was good because they like massage your feet and stuff. I found out that my feet aren't that bad because they shave your feet, and there's some people like grated cheese all day. That's him, and they're doing my foot, and I can't see stuff flying off of it. I'm like, oh, so I'm okay then. That's good. But
there's a lot of guys that actually go and get pedicures.
I never ever in my life.
So many. Like I'll be getting my nails done, and like one time there was like a whole like group of like guy friends that just came in, and they were all like basketball players.
Why not? Funny. So now I know, Derek, you and I are going to get a pedicure. And then after we get a pedicure, I'm gonna take your black American Express card and give it to Fran so that we could go shopping. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. So it's rapid fire time. Okay. And we're gonna go back and forth here for a few. Okay. I'm gonna let you start. You can ask me anything. Anything in the world, Fran. Okay. Make it count.
Did you ever find peanut butter?
I did. You remembered that. So many reasons why.
4 different stores to get to peanut butter.
You might. I'm just gonna call you sis because like it's not good enough to call you cousin. We're two. The fact that you remembered that I had a problem with peanut butter.
I did too. I literally drove to 4 different stores to get Jif peanut
I was
butter.
gonna start putting knives on the ends of stick, like duct taping the knife to a stick, and just like walking in with machetes, being like, "Leave my Jif alone." I couldn't find I couldn't find Jif.
Even my dad buys the like the healthy peanut butter that doesn't taste like Jif peanut butter.
What did he buy?
I don't know. It's like
The organic one that's got oil and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Derek, it's got to taste like there's certain things that you can't skimp on. Peanut butter is one of them. Okay, you cannot skimp on peanut butter. The reduced fat to me tastes better than the original. Finally found it, and actually it was fun. Somebody found it for me. My dad called me up. He's like, "Hey, got your peanut butter. You're good to go." Because I couldn't find for like 2 weeks, and now I'm afraid to go back out there and look. But peanut butter, Pillsbury pull apart cookies, chocolate chip, they weren't there.
Oh yeah, they weren't there. All the cookie doughs were
Gone.
except for sugar cookie doughs.
I got the Lucky Charms and the chocolate chips still in my fridge for 2 months. I got to cook them now because they're June. But they've been sitting in my fridge because I couldn't find them. And I'm like, what am I, like, why did Syracuse say, oh my God, the end of the world is coming. I need toilet paper,
peanut butter,
reduced fat Jif peanut butter, Pillsbury cookies. Like the stuff that we went after, I'm just a little confused by. Nobody went after angel hair, though. That was there. Which is insane, because I love angel hair. So, yes, I found peanut butter.
Oh, and lemon extract. I went to make lemon cookies, and they were...
Oh, yeah, you told me that. You couldn't find it. Well,
Lemon extract?
if you can't find the vanilla extract, it has alcohol in it, and there's people that are alcoholics that will literally drink them.
Oh,
Because it's like straight alcohol.
Makes sense.
But it's gross. So, yeah. So, if you can't find vanilla extract when you're trying to make rigot pie, it's because somebody drank it in Wegmans. And there's like the $8.99 one, and then there's like the $1.99 one, and the $1.99 one is fantastic. So I don't know why the other one's so expensive. My first question for you is, what was the one thing that you ate the most of during this Corona time so far? If you say chicken cutlets, I'm gonna freak. I'm so hungry right now.
Yes, so am I.
I want veal and chicken cutlets. Derek, are you cooking? Is he home right now?
He's a security.
Okay.
God, I don't know. I kind of stayed with the same diet, I guess.
Okay.
Like everything I kind of ate, I kind of stayed the same.
So what was it? What was the diet?
Like, coffee in the morning. Always. And...
Look at what's in mine. Can people see it? It's water. There's water in mine because I don't drink coffee. Yeah, because I always wondered on like late night talk shows, I just don't like coffee. I like tea.
Black coffee every morning.
I like tea. I like vanilla chai.
But then I guess something that I started making more would be chocolate covered strawberries, and I was at my mom's a lot.
Oh, okay.
They're really good.
They're good. Did you design them?
No.
No, you just dipped them in the chocolate. And I thought that if you put chocolate syrup on them and put them in the freezer that it would work. It doesn't. You actually have to get like the bark and you have to heat it and then you have to put it and then it molds it and you put it in the fridge. It's a process that I didn't want to do, but now I know how to do it. And I love the way that you looked at me when I said that I thought you could
all the time.
dip it in chocolate syrup. What's your second one for me? Chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah. And then I had green apples dipped in peanut butter a lot. That was like my snack.
Peanut butter, caramel, all that stuff. So good.
Alright.
I want to get the peanut butter shell one. The sauce that you can buy where like when you put it on, it like hardens.
Really?
So then it.
Was it like kind of like the stuff when you get like a dip cone at like?
Yeah, I love dip cones.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love dip cones. Like the strawberry one, bubble gum, like all this one, like oh my God, there's nothing like a good dipped cone. Again, there's like 1,000 places in Syracuse, but I love Carvel. Oh, I got my new Carvel thing. It's called the Orange Dream. It's actually healthier. It's orange sherbet, vanilla ice cream, so it's like a creamsicle, and it's got whipped cream, cherry, rainbow sprinkles, and I made it in shake form, and the shake has sprinkles in it.
That's crazy.
So those are good. We're gonna get you an Orange Dream on the way to the mall using Derek's credit card. And then we're going to come home, and we're going to show Derek everything that you bought and that I bought. I will have 3 bags. Franny will have 27, and then we'll have chicken cutlets.
Yeah.
That's the Sunday. That's what I'm looking forward to. We're going to do that.
All right.
So, yeah, second one for me.
When everything's lifted, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first place you're going. That you're like waiting on.
Movie theater and Disney.
Okay.
Simple as that. Going to the movies, and the day it happens, I'm going to the movies, and then the next day I'm getting on a plane and going to Disney. Florida in general.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my two. I'm not going to China. Because that's where, like, every disease has started in the last 10 years. So I'm not going to China. I hope that you're safe in China. I hope that you're healthy in China. But I want to go to Shanghai Disney and see the Iron Man ride. But right now, you know, you are the like in China is the place where, like, the mask, like, they wore it for SARS. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like that's where like they've been dealing with wearing masks out in public forever, and it's horrible. And I feel terrible for everybody in China. If I lived in China, I would have moved. Yeah. Because there's 2 billion people, and it just seems like so many diseases are coming from there. So, and please stop eating bats if that's where this started. You know, you haven't had veal yet. I will never eat a bat, but you'll have veal before we have bats. I'm gonna keep that question. What's the first thing you're doing when everything's lifted?
Lacrosse tournament.
Okay. Is there some that are still like hopeful for dates?
Yeah, August.
Some July's, August.
The end of July.
Okay. Where are these?
Got Maryland, Pennsylvania. I think there's a couple in New Jersey.
Okay.
And then our big fall tournament is Florida. Like that's our. I couldn't go last year.
When is that in the fall?
That is, I would say October. I think October.
Oh, my birth month. Look at that. I might have to go to that tournament. Where is that one played?
I don't know exactly where it is in Florida.
Okay. I've been to like everything.
In Florida.
Almost like all the way to I've never been to Florida.
And I want to live there. Like that is the like.
Oh yeah, but we're going to Disney. We talked about that. We're going to Disney. Derek, flights are cheap and tickets are cheap, and the hotels right now are discounted, like severely. Like the big hotels that are like $400 a night are like $2 something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, your dad's got a lot of things to prepare. I feel like as we get prepared for Father's Day, I'm preparing Derek for you and I to have a day.
Yeah.
Tortora squared day. And then it'll be cubed. And then if Sam comes, then I don't know what comes after cubed. I know it's quadruple, but I don't know how you to the 4th degree. I don't know what you call it. That's what I learned in school. Tortora 4. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it 4. So you're going to a lacrosse tournament. What's your third one for me?
You go first.
I go first on this one?
Yeah.
All right. What's the one song you can listen on repeat during Corona? I got a bunch now. See, I listen to rap and country like equally.
So do I.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so like my music, when I walk every day, I can shift from like Florida Georgia Line to Drake. And it's just seamless. It's how I feel in the moment.
Too. I was supposed to go to a Halsey concert. All my friends got me tickets for my birthday, and it was in New York City, but obviously canceled.
I would have loved to see Halsey. She's good.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I any of her songs. Yeah.
She had a new one out now, and I can't remember the name of it.
The album or the song?
There's one on the radio, the song.
The Other Girl.
Maybe.
Kelsey Ballerini. I know every song.
Yeah, she's good.
It's
After the show, we're gonna spend a second here, because I do on my Instagram and my Facebook now. I did this for you. I don't even know if you know that I did this. Do you have Instagram? Oh, okay. We didn't add each other on Instagram yet. We're not like that. So just family. But no, I put music to all my stuff now. So listen, because it's country. Then it's country. Wait, hold on. Then it's country. Homemade food. And then it's Iron Man. And then it's you. It is? That's your song? I just picked it because it reminded me of you. That's the one I picked for you.
That's like my pregame song.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We're just meant to do shows together, Fran. So, my third question for... Did I just ask you? Mm-hmm. I did. I asked you your song. Okay, it's your turn. See? Something led me to that. Out of all the songs I could have found, I was like, Moment for Life. But it's because of what she says in that.
Yeah.
At this very moment, I'm king. At this very moment, I slay Goliath with a sling.
Yeah.
I'll retire with the ring. It was in there.
Yeah.
And I will retire. And I love that. I will retire with a crown. Yes. No, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clap for the heavyweight champ. All of that is you.
Yeah.
That's why I chose it. Fantastic song.
God, these are so hard. Anything since like quarantine?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any place that like you want to travel that's on your bucket list that like now like you really want to do? Like it's gonna like it turn to like sooner than later kind of thing?
Oh yeah. So Italy, Spain, and on my mom's side of the family, they thought that they were 100% Italian, but it turns out that we may have Sudanese blood from Africa because of Italy being so close and the cross connection. So if that's true and I do have blood there, then I would want to go to the Sudan. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'd like to go to the Sudan because I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But I joke around. I was like, it makes sense because my mom, my grandmother, and me, my aunt in the sun, we don't get like olive. If I stay in the sun all summer long, my grandmother got purple brown. Like she almost looked like black and blue because she would get so dark. And it's like, oh, that's just because we're from Calabria. But it makes a lot more sense that if we did have Sudanese blood, that would be, connected to the fact that my mom's side of the family just gets, because I get a tan. If I go out in the sun and it's 40 degrees and I laid at a pool and 40 degrees, I'd have a tan in 2 hours. It looks like I've been outside for a week. So I would love to go now more than ever to see my family in Italy, to see my family who watches and listens in Spain. I love you all. And because they're amazing, 5 hours ahead of time, and they watch the show. Never met them.
That's so cool.
And if we do really have Sudanese blood, I'd love to go to Sudan. And I'd like to go there because people think of Egypt when you think of pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
The Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I would like to see family there.
Yeah.
We're gonna do two more. My fourth one for you, Fran, is because we're cut from the same cloth. I want to ask you this because you know that I'm going to joke about it afterward because you know that I always talk about funny stuff when it comes to relationships. What are 3 qualities that a man has to have? 3. Why is this funny?
It's just funny.
Okay. Why? Because nobody has them that you've met. Because it's really hard to find anybody that's got good qualities these days. What the hell is wrong with people? Why does our family have good qualities and then other people are, you know what I mean? Jesus. By the way, man, you better be watching and taking notes and know that after Derek gets you, I'll find you too.
3 qualities. Okay. I would say driven.
Okay.
Because I can't have somebody that just has no
Right. No, get up and go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you. Been there, done that.
Has to be stronger than me.
Lift more than 315?
Yeah. That is so bad if your girl lifts more than you. That is so sad.
Wow. Okay. Coming from Fran, you gotta lift more than 315. Deadlift more than 315. See, I used to do the thing in high school. I just get on the leg press, and I could go to the bottom of the leg. I could lift anything on it. I'd be up there two something 300 something like that. And I'm just doing that, and they're like, "You really shouldn't." And I'm just like, "Why?" And it doesn't bother me. My legs have always been like that. So I'll sit there with 325 and just be pushing it. So 315 is Fran's number. It's soon to be more. So men, you should start lifting today.
And then one more?
Yeah, one more. They have to be driven. They have to lift more than you do. What if they lift? Guys, listen. What if you're 315? What if they lift 275?
That was my old one.
What if they lift 295? What if they lift 305 and you lift 315?
No.
Damn. Okay. So it's got to be 320, 321. 316.
Yeah.
And you're going to keep pushing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're going to have to keep.
Yeah.
Damn. They better know.
And I would say.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of goes with being.
I like it.
Oh well, I would say have to make me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, like definitely. And I know that's kind of a generic one that everybody has, but
there's people that aren't funny, Fran.
I know. If I'm not laughing all the time, then
I gotta find, like, I can't have, out of everyone that I've dated, the women that have made me laugh.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, I love making people laugh, but
yeah.
I want a woman that makes me, I want a woman that doesn't make me laugh coming off of my joke. Like, that's the thing, too.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to make me laugh, but not on a piggyback.
Right.
I want you to just make me laugh because you're funny.
Yeah.
Like, don't jump off of my work. Show me your own. Like, if you can wake me up in the morning and make me laugh, then that's, because that's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a woman that just makes me laugh straight up. It's not easy, Fran. It's not.
I know.
It's not at all. So why did you laugh when I asked you the question? Because it's hard? Because it's hard? Or do you think somebody's watching?
I have no comment.
Okay. All right. Fine. It's an off-the-air conversation. It's an off-the-air. It's fair enough.
Alright, we can talk about that later.
Okay. What is your fourth one for me?
Okay.
So driven, makes you laugh, lifts more than you. Okay.
If you could only wear one brand for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, man.
Like, from head to toe. Like, that's the brand you have to, like, wear.
Well, the sneakers, I love Nike, but if I had to pick head to toe, it's what I'm wearing right now. It'd be Under Armour.
Really? See, I wear Nike.
I love Nike shoes, but I don't have a lot of Nike clothing. I wear Under Armour all the time. I love Under Armour. And Under Armour's the one that makes all, like, the hero stuff. Like, if you have the Captain America, the star and all that, it's all Under Armour. Right. So, Under Armour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there may be some cool stuff in the future with Wake Up Co.
Really?
Maybe. Maybe. So, maybe. Prayers.
All right.
Final question is...
I don't know where you're going with your questions are just all over the place. I don't know.
I know. I know.
I'm nervous.
Final question. Let me think. If you only had 24 hours to live, what would you do?
24 hours to live.
Which is also a song by Diddy and Mace. Do your research, kids. That's a rep. It's Bad Boy Records. You know who they are, right? You know Mace? Yeah. Diddy? Okay. Yeah. Fran knows everything that's in my brain. That's the thing that's crazy.
24 hours.
So for the 18 years that I was alive that you weren't alive, I must have just been like sending information up to God, like, hey, when you make this person,
just like
make sure she knows the stuff.
I would say, God.
Yeah.
And I have like, I can do whatever I want for 24 hours.
24 hours.
Probably go to the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would probably go to the beach with all my friends and just like beach it all
day.
All day.
All day long.
Yeah.
All right.
And then like a fire on the beach, like all of it. Yeah.
Bonfire.
The beach is like my favorite place.
Gotta have the beach.
Yeah.
And a nice fire. I love the way a fire smells.
Really?
Something like it. Something about a bonfire. And when you like throw a Patriots jersey in there. Tom Brady jersey. People can burn him now because he's not there anymore. So then people can't be mad at me. I only got 500 hate mail messages when I said Tom Brady wasn't the GOAT. On Twitter alone, 500 in 8 days. Boston, I expect more from you. 500. Somebody responded to one yesterday. It was a year ago. He retweeted it and mentioned me. I was like, what is this information? Boston. Whatever, Boston. What's your final one for me?
All right, what are your...
I love you, Boston. My grandfather was a Celtics fan, okay? And I love Larry Bird and Robert Parrish. And, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm wicked smart. You know, I love Dunkin' Donuts. It's all good.
All right, if you, like, what is a quote or a moral or something that you would, like, is there one that sticks out for you that's, like, you live by that for the rest of your life?
Yeah, there's
like,
a bunch.
Day to day, like, I know you have a lot, and I know, like, both of us have a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have a bunch of different things that we kind of live by and go by, but, like, what's the one that really, like...
I would say, well, there's something I kind of put things up in the moment. And so I'll say two things. The one that I put up this week, I put a few up this week, but I said this week in a conversation, and it ended up spilling out into me saying like I want to share this publicly. As I said, I want to make sure I directly quote it because I don't want to say it wrong the way that I wrote it, because the way that I wrote it, I really felt it that way. And that was this one. Where is it? Hold on. Nothing like trying to figure out what I said 3 days ago. So I put up three different ones, and this is the one that I'm okay. Every great journey starts with taking the first step forward. I take 10,000 steps forward every single day. So that's one. Then I put people will show you their true colors, whether they mean to or not.
Yeah.
So there's that one, and so I would say, and then I put up one about like confidence and whatnot. But I would say a quote that I live by daily is, remember that the only thing you can control is yourself, and be the person that God would be proud of. Be the person that you can look at in the mirror when you go to right before you go to bed. I would say that, because if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, which that's thankfully in 34 years been very seldom for me, but when it has been, it is shockingly awful to know that you made a mistake and that you weren't the best version of yourself. So I would say be the person that you can live with.
Yeah. I agree.
What would be your quote? I know it's an extra one, but I'm interested now. Bonus question.
I would say that, I don't know, there's so many, but like lately I've kind of just like been thinking of like that everything you do, I think we kind of forget that we only really get one life, and then I think that we kind of get stuck in a routine, and we get stuck in like an everyday thing, and it's like, even like this summer, like yesterday, like me and all my friends looked at each other, and it's like, we have 2 years left of high school.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to spend it? So I guess, like, really taking a risk in everything you do. Like do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to go for it, go for it. Like, stop thinking about it and, don't dwell on everything. Kind of just keep it moving.
Well, and I think what, I've realized is, in anything, in relationships, friendships, girlfriend, boyfriend, any of that stuff, what I've learned is if somebody's willing to let you walk away, then, and they don't appreciate you, then they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the hard things in life is I spend a lot of time on, you try to like prove to a friend or prove to, a girlfriend, like, no, this is why we should stay together. This is why we should be friends. Prove to a job, oh, this is why you should keep me. If somebody's willing to let you go, that means they don't value you. And if they don't value you, they don't deserve you. And if they don't deserve you, then, as Fran said, you have so much time in your life. And how much time did I waste trying to like prove to people that I'm worthy of their time?
Yeah.
And with all due respect, if I have to prove to you that I'm worthy of you, you ain't God.
Right.
So, and I think if you let something walk away, as I said to Juanita, somebody will leave something here today and then come and pick it up tomorrow when it's all good and it's all grown. But if you can't, this is one. If you can't love me at my worst, you can't have me at my best. Because we all have bad days and we all make mistakes. And when somebody kind of lets you with like, you made a mistake and you can't ever make one again, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's not saying you're going to be a horrible person, but you're going to make mistakes in life and you can't walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
So, that coming from Tortora Squared.
Oh, wait.
What? Go ahead.
Anything from your teenage years that you regret or you would do differently?
Anything from my teenage years.
Not college.
That I
Like
regret or I would do
teenage.
differently.
Yeah. You look back on and you're like,
I got one for you off the air. But I got an off the air one. But anything that I don't live with a lot of regret. Unfortunately, I had some regret recently because I didn't feel like I was the best version of myself. But I would say from my high school, my teenage years, Anything I would do differently. I wouldn't have been as shy as I was, and I was not myself in high school at all. I would have, I would have asked people out. I would have tried out for this team. I would have done this. I would have done that. Like, whether it works or not, I would have just done it because I was so not me in high school.
Yeah.
And I was just
You
so,
weren't really living it.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
like I get my wit. I always had my comedy and my wit, but my wit hit one day. This one guy made fun of me, and I shut my locker. And from that moment on, senior year, my wit just came out. And it's never gone away. And I was finally me, and I felt that energy.
Right.
But I was like, damn it, why didn't I have this all the time?
Yeah.
Like, screw you, I'm Dan Tortora. You don't like me? Keep walking. You know what I mean? Like,
that's definitely in the blood.
right. Keep walking.
That line right there.
You don't like me, that's your problem. That ain't my problem. You want to carry that energy with you, that's on you.
You got it.
Right, you got it. You take that with you. You want to carry that anvil? Take it. I tell people all the time, I'm not perfect, but if you're going to walk away from a good person who loves people, who makes people laugh, who works his butt off, that's your funeral, not mine.
Yeah.
Like, you walk away from something good in your life,
Yeah.
that's your problem.
Right.
So I would say in high school, I would have been more of myself.
More of a wild child.
I would have just been more me, And I think I would have stood up for myself in a lot of different areas where I didn't. Some of it even family related. I would have not taken what I took because I didn't deserve it. And it affected me as an adult until I faced it. So I would say I would have taken better care of Daniel. That's what I would have done. So take care of Fran. Always.
Always.
With that being said, we got a message from Dad that we're going to round the show out with. What did he say? So wait, he forgot a word. So we're going to decipher.
I'm really good at it.
Okay, so he put, love you guys, obviously. Love guys, make me proud. You got me through the summer motivated. Thank you, fam. Love you. And we have a heart, a muscle, and a train. Why do we have a train? He's never sent. He's the train?
Yeah, train. D-train.
Are you kidding me right now? D-train was my nickname growing up.
I'll tell you why off camera.
You can tell him. I can tell you why off camera too. But like D-train was my.
That's his license plate for his motorcycle.
Are you kidding me? So Franny and I are the same person, and Derek and I have the same nickname. So bring her up. Because you love dogs. Let's say see you later with a Tortora cubed. Lily, everybody knows Lily in the studio. Lily's my daughter. My daughter's furry.
Yeah.
And I love her so much. And when Franny came in here, she played with Lily for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So Lily says have a great weekend. And thanks to Lily, I'm actually get to celebrate Father's Day.
Yeah.
So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to my dad, to my grandpas in heaven. Happy Father's Day to Ralph and to Derek as well. And I hope you all have yourselves a great weekend. For Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, for Carvel with the Annoying Moment, for Lead with Chick-fil-A Cicero, for the Top Dog of the Week. Oh, we didn't announce our top dog for K9 Campground and K9 Camp Dog Daycare. Just somebody we think is special this week. Who's your top dog?
Like a person?
Yeah, a person. Or Lily.
You meant like dog.
Or Lily. She was my top dog 2 weeks ago. Look at you. You love Franny.
I would say, like somebody I know that deserves it.
Anybody.
I would say Tori Ionati, one of my best friends.
Tori Ionati.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
She was a really good friend last night and the last couple days. So.
All right, Tori, you are our top dog, and I'm going to give you a bonus one. Grandpa Miller was Grandpa Tortora, but he worked at Miller Lite, so I call him Pop Miller. Pop Miller and Pop Cavino, and my adopted grandfather Papa, as well as my grandpa Bill. I have 4. Somehow God blessed me with 4. So happy Father's Day to each and every single one of you. To my grandfathers that passed away in '92 when I was 6, you still teach me today, and I still give you credit for the man that I am today. I hope it make you proud. And to my adopted grandfather, thank you for stepping up and being great, Papa Pandozzi. And so much to Grandpa Bill, who told me through everything that we've been through, he said, you're my grandson no matter who asks me, and it's never going to change. So I love you all. I send you my love. For Fran and for myself, for Juanita Ward, for all of us here at Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, have a great weekend. We broke the internet today, and I look forward to doing it again. And now we get to have conversations off the air that you don't get to hear.
Yep. Sorry.
So thanks, Fran. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, you all have a great weekend. We'll talk with you on Monday morning.